Hi everyone, my name is Rohan and today we are going to look at Workday Brasring Connexa integration. Before getting into the integration bit, I'd like to tell you that Brasring is our new applicant tracking system which basically helps recruitment team to go through various stages of hiring, shortlisting candidates, and sending them over to Workday as new hires or employees in the system. So, talking about this, I would like to stress on the point that with Workday being there from the beginning, we have ensured that this integration doesn't impact too much on the day-to-day transactions that business is doing. So the benefits of this integration, the key benefits of this integration are certain details that are being sent over from Workday, which will be eventually, we going to look at it eventually in the system, but these are all the details which are being sent over from Workday to Brasring. This includes position ID, job posting title, requisition reason, recruiting instruction, target hire date, end date, justification, job description, recruitment or acquisition team details, the contract type, whether the position is for permanent or temporary hire, the employee type, default compensation range, weekly hours, job level and management level, and the location in which the position resides currently. So I'm not going to get into everything at once. Right now, we just focus on job requisition and a manager's role in raising job requisitions within Workday. So let's get on to the system. I have logged in as a hiring manager, that is Ajit Singh, and I am now going to raise a job requisition in the system. There are three ways of raising a job requisition in the system. The first one being raising it for a new position. So let's say in your supervisory org, if there's a new position and you need to raise a requirement for that position, then this is the process that you'll be following. I first search for the task called create job requisition. Once I'm into it, by default it will pick up my supervisory org. It will ask me whether I want to create it for a new position, so I select this option here. Then for what worker type I want to create the position for. So if it's a contractual worker, you use contingent worker as an option. Otherwise, for a regular employee, you use employee as an option. Click OK and it takes you to the screen. This step, this is something which we've been doing very regularly. So we just fill up all the details. Mind you, while selecting recruiting instructions, there are various options out here. With Connexa in picture, whenever you select no publishing confidential or internal and external gateway or internal only, that is like only for internal employees, the data is being sent over to Brasring. If you select internal fill as an option, then it's more of an internal transfer where existing employees are being transferred to fill your new position. So this is something which will not trigger any recruitment process within Brasring, just that you know. So go ahead, raise this acquisition. Since it is for a new position, I need to ensure that I fill up all these details. these are the fields which will typically be sent over to Brasring, the ones which we had seen some minutes back in the document. Primary location. Apart from the primary location, you can have at max 2 additional locations. So let's say if the position is open in other locations too, I can add it over here. Next, these are optional details, and of course they're not being sent over to Brasring, so it can be skipped. I am now jumping over to the final summary tab, where we get to see all the details that were entered. We can review. If you need to edit, you can edit the information and click submit. So that completes one way of creating a job requisition within Workday. And then of course there are certain steps that it goes through where you need necessary approvals to be taken. So once all that is in place, the data will be sent over to Brasring for hiring. Now let's look at another way of raising a job requisition. The other way is for an existing position. To do this, I follow similar process. Go to create job requisition, ensure that the correct supervisory org is there in the list, and this time I'll select for existing position. So when I do this, I click on the pick list option over here. I get to see what all existing positions are there in my supervisory org. Let's say I pick up this one here, which is currently unfilled and there's no person. This time I select contingent worker, click OK. Note that there's a slight difference. So I get to see that it's a replacement. So this time when I select worker subtype, I get the options which are only for contingent worker. So I have selected consultant. Again, rest information like locations, the logic remains similar. So I can add locations. I'll skip the optional part. I go to summary tab. I can review the details that I just entered for my existing position. If I need to edit, I can click this pen and paper icon and change information. Once done, I submit the information. So that does talk about creating a job requisition for existing position. The last option that we're going to look at is creating a job rec for a position which is occupied. This typically happens when you have someone in that position getting relieved over a period of time. So we have an example here. There's a position of general manager which is currently occupied by Mr. Ravi Khurana, and he's vacating that position effective 31st March. Now remember one thing, that when you raise a requisition for positions which are currently occupied, there should be a overlap position. This can be checked by using this related actions over here. And seeing that the position is available for overlap. Otherwise, the data will not be consistently shared or sent across to Brasring. Okay, so going back to the requisition page, I select the position over here, click OK, and then the same process follows. So I'm not going to go through the entire process again. I suppose it is similar and you guys have understood already. Apart from this, there is one more thing that I'd like to show you, and that is how to edit existing positions. So for that, what you do is, since you are a hiring manager, you would be having a supervisory org where you see all your positions. I just go to that supervisory org, I go to staffing, and I can see all the job requisitions that are there. If you have an approved job requisition, you can edit the job requisition using edit option. So I don't see that. Let's stop this. Okay, I'm not able to stop this right now.